It's Isaac with Emerald Design. I am going to show you how to deal with widows and orphans when you are laying out your book in Amazon KDP. So here we have, well, it's not really an orphan, but it's orphan-esque. An orphan typically means that there is a paragraph and the last word of the paragraph goes to another page, which is a little bit awkwardly designed. So there's two ways to deal with widows and orphans. That's kind of what I'm doing at the end of every chapter. I have this little glyph at the bottom. But the first way is you will just select the paragraph that has the problem and then go to format and then go to paragraph and then just do widow and orphan control. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so what that did was it just moved more text over to control that single line orphan. So that is a pretty good solution, but the end result doesn't fit my design too well because this page still feels really blank. And what I kind of want is about, you know, I don't want a blank page before my little end graphic. I usually want at least a third of the page filled, then some blank space, then my little end graphic. So that's sort of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to turn to method 2. So I'll undo my widow and orphan control. And in this method, I'm going to just select all the way back to a break. And I am going to change the spacing of this whole section in such a way that it's not even noticeable. All right, so when you go to line spacing on Word, you only have a few options. So you have 1.15, and then you go in half-inch increments to 1.5 to 2.0 to 2.5 to 3, right? But you actually have incredible flexibility if you go to line spacing options. So I'm working with 1.2, so I will go down to 1.17, right? And just reduce a little, shave a little fraction of an inch off of my spacing in hope of wrapping this around so I have room for my glyph at the end of the paragraph. All right, and that has done the trick. And now I should be able to get a nice looking chapter. Okay, cool. And then the other thing that's really important, obviously, is to make the section break on the right page. Otherwise, you'll get a blank space as well. Okay, so yeah, so that is everything. Everything is all lined up. A couple of notes. This is a weird thing that happens in Word when the section break is too close, especially to a graphic. It sort of does this display thing. Which is awkward. It looks like you've done something wrong, but you can just ignore that if you know it's right, because the display doesn't come out in the final file. The other thing is if you're doing this kind of really exact page design where this glyph is always at the bottom of the page and you only have a little one line to spare, whatever, then you should not upload a Word document to KDP because the KDP interface has its own way of wrapping Word documents. And it means that even though you've designed this perfectly, this could wind up at the top of this page, or there could still be an empty page or something like that. So you want to, if you have this kind of precise design, you really want to be outputting PDFs, which is really easy on Word. You file save as PDF and upload a PDF to your KDP interface rather than a Word document. But you always need a Word document because Word document makes a superior Kindle ebook, because you always want your Kindle books to be reflowable. Non-reflowable Kindle ebooks are really not worth reading. Um, so you can work this way, but if you get this precise thing that you want, like, oh, this has to be at the bottom of this page, this has to be page 347, then you are working with a PDF upload in the KDP print process. You are not working with a Word upload because the Word upload will reflow and it won't be where you say it is. But that's the gist of the lesson, is that the spacing has a lot more options than you think, and you can make it. See, I just changed it by 0.03 or something like that. And as a reader, I can't see the difference between this paragraph and the next paragraph, and it lets me get the exact layout that I want in my KDP book. All right, so that's it for now. I hope that is useful.